Don't know if you celebrated a birthday through COVID-19, but Mary Jane sure has. It's Rob and Liz, his radio, and his morning crew. It's a big milestone for her.
It is.
And they had like this huge celebration plan.
Yeah.
I mean, the grandkids, because she's a grandma, great-grandma, the nieces, the nephews, they're going to fly in from other countries and celebrate.
100 years old.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
100 years old.
But something happened. She unexpectedly, of course, got coronavirus and had to be hospitalized. She actually thought she just had a little bitty cold. But what happened, her brother, who was 98, also had coronavirus.
Oh,
Did you know
no.
that? And he ended up passing away. But Mary Jane came through it all just in time to celebrate her 100th birthday.
I read that it was only 10 days.
Yeah, she was
10
only in the
days.
hospital 10 days, went back to her living facility, and yeah, they had a big old party. And she's been nagging them at the facility because she wants a haircut.
I don't blame her. I want a haircut too.
I love that as soon as she got back to her old self. Mary Jane said, you got to do something about this hair.
Don't we all?
His morning crew.
We're ready for a senior shout out during this season.
They have been through so much. I have one in my own home, a senior in high school, and, lost the sports season, lost the prom, that kind of stuff. So we want to make them feel extra special. And there's been different things that I've seen on social media where you can adopt seniors and that kind of thing. We're going to let you shout out to your senior right here on his radio.
Personalized
Yep.
and everything. And you're the one that'll be doing this. A senior shout out from you, heard from everybody on his radio. So you might as well shout it from the mountaintops, right? So here's all you have to do. Text the word senior, like high school senior. Text the word senior to 800-447-7234. That's 800-447-7234. And we'll shout it from the mountaintops about the high school senior student in your family.
Yeah, give them some props. They worked long and hard, and they expected their senior year. If you look back at your senior year, everything you got to do, they aren't getting to do most of it, unfortunately.
So we'll do our best to make it as special as possible. Here's the word again. Just text the word senior to 800-447-7234.
His morning crew.
You ever heard of Banksy? Banksy's an artist.
Okay. What's he
And-
sing?
Nothing. He draws, he paints.
Oh, that kind of artist.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Banksy is sort of pranksy too. He pulls pranks from time to time. That
I
may
think
be.
I've heard about this guy.
Yeah, he's pulled quite a few pranks. He pulled one on the Mona Lisa and gave her almost an emoji face. He didn't actually do it to the actual piece of artwork. He did his own. Thank
Did
goodness.
he bring it into the...
Yes.
No.
Like he sneaks into these galleries and replaces. Nobody sees him. They finally, eventually find it on security camera.
Okay.
Anyway, he pulls a lot of pranks. He's done something really, really nice for nurses, for healthcare workers.
And it's not a prank.
It's not a prank.
Well, good for
at all.
Banksy.
Right. It even had a very nice little note with it. What he did is he created a piece of art that is a little boy playing with almost like an action figure of a nurse who has a cape, has the American Red Cross emblem on the front of her uniform. And then in the floor is like a Batman and a Spider-Man action figure at the base of this portrait.
Oh, nice.
And so he's donated it to one of the hospitals in England. What they're going to do eventually, and he gave them this information, he said, you can auction it off and raise money for national health care workers.
Good
in
for
Britain.
him.
Yeah, so Banksy, pranksy most of the time, not this time.
The guy has heart.
He does have heart.
You can tell.
And the art is unbelievable that he just can sketch this kind. It's just, yeah.
This is
Cold
all
chills.
rhyming. Heart, art.
Banksy pranksy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. There he goes.
Dr. Seuss.
His morning crew.
Reggie's the 15-month-old. Riley was a teenager just walking his dogs when he witnessed Reggie running away from Mom. Mom didn't even know. Jumped into a canal, sunk to the bottom, and then Riley saves that little boy's life.
But
Amazing.
It can happen in an instant. We were talking about this, and I thought, we have got to hear these stories. Like, when have you, you've been watching the kids, but you turn your back for half a second and they're doing something ridiculous. Like, what happened to you? So Taylor, she was in the bathtub. I literally turned and sort of reached for the towel. And by the time I turned back around, and she's a toddler, she had a bead from a necklace up her nose. Well, her teeny tiny little nostrils started swelling.
No.
Yes,
That's an
immediately.
emergency room visit, isn't it?
Yeah, a very expensive little bead up your nose, little girl. So, yeah, I want to know those stories. Have you had something like that?
Oh, yeah. You turn your head for an instant, and all of a sudden, the wall is a mural of crayon or marker that you can't get out. Well, what about you? 800-447-7234. It's His Morning Crew.
His Morning Crew.
We're hearing the calls and texts are coming in. And wait till you hear Tammy's story. What happened, Tammy?
We were out in the yard working, and I have 3 girls, and we told them to go lay some wood up on the little pieces of wood up on the wood pile. While they were helping us, the 3 of them decided they would play the 7 doors. So the middle daughter grabbed the hatchet off the wood pile, and they lined up, and she hit her sister in the head with the hatchet.
Wait, whoa, that sounds horrific. What happened?
It was, she just had to have a couple butterfly bandages on it, and she was fine.
That could have been so worse.
It could have.
So at Christmas time, does she bring it up to her sister that, remember that time you hit me in the head with a hatchet?
They bring it up all the time.
Yeah, like a sister should, right?
You never let them live it down, ever.
Hey, we'd love for you to join the conversation. You can call or text.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
You turned your back just for a moment, and then all of a sudden you realize your kid drew the Mona Lisa on your wall with a Sharpie. That's permanent. It happens, doesn't it? It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His radio.
Angela texted in and she said when she was 3, I guess her mom turned her back for half a second and she put a big old piece of nerd candy up her nose. And her dad, because her mom was freaking out about it, and her dad
Yeah.
said, calm down, it's sugar, it's gonna melt. And she ended up having like a great big purple river running out of her
No,
nose.
get out. That's funny.
Yeah. And then Brenda did something I think a lot of kids do. Her mom, I guess, turned her back, and Brenda picked up the pinking shears and cut her own bangs. So pinking shears, if you sew, they're ridged almost like a serrated
Okay.
knife to me. That's the way I look at it. And so she must have looked incredible. Yeah, cut the bangs.
I hope that happened during school season.
Well, she was 4, so it was like 4K, so maybe.
Yeah, that would look.
I asked her for a picture. So.
Style it. Oh, please, please. Okay, we're hearing from Dawn at 800-447-7234. What happened, Dawn?
Mine was actually just sleeping in my bed, and my daughter was used to me getting up on the weekends and cooking her breakfast before we go to church. She decided to get up before me one morning. She took the eggs and the hot cocoa mix and the grits and mixed them all up together in the bottom of the kitchen floor, thinking that she was going to cook breakfast instead.
How old was she at that time?
She was 3.
Did she end up eating her concoction?
No, she did not eat her concoction. She just thought she was going to try to beat a sweet little daughter and cook breakfast for Mommy instead of Mommy having to get up and cook her breakfast.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
Talking about the moment you turned your back, and then your kid did something that you thought, wow, that took only an instant to do.
Yeah, one of them happened yesterday. Heather, I guess, left her daughter in the charge of her sons. They got on the Xbox, and the little girl had a little time on her hands, so she found some markers and started putting on makeup.
Oh, no.
She even texted us a picture. It's all over her
All over her face.
and her arms.
Magic marker. That's
Yeah.
going to take a while.
Yeah.
Good thing that church isn't on Sunday in the building.
But even so, that's a great story.
Yeah, right. Diana sent her text. She was in the grocery store talking to the cash register attendant when she looked down and her daughter had picked up the hamburger meat, the raw stuff, and it was in her mouth.
Eating it
Eating it.
all over her face. Gross. But
Sure,
she was
there's-
okay.
Yeah, and a lot of washing going on after that, I am sure.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
Guy Fieri. Did I say that right?
Fieri.
Oh, no. Okay. Fieri. How do you say it? I want to hear the whole room.
Fieri.
Okay, that dude right there. That guy, dude. The cook on, I say cook.
chef.
Okay, the chef. Boy, I'm butchering this guy.
No, not at all.
But he's so good. People love him, and he's been Food Network's been pretty good to him.
He's been there a while.
He has been, so much so that he's helped raise $20 million. And what he's doing with that is to help the restaurant workers that have been affected by the pandemic. And so he's doing these grants, like $500 grants for restaurant workers, more than 40,000 grants so far in less than 2 months. He's been able to hand out, because of the money raised, the $20 million raised, to help these people as they're walking through this whole social distancing and the job stuff that's been going on.
Yeah, because they've lost hours, they've lost tips, they've lost their livelihood, and that's going to help them.
And thankfully, we're on the up curve now, because businesses are starting to open. It's a slow thing. I mean, from parking lot to curbside to parking lot.
Yep.
Some states have opened up, so now that you're back inside in some of these restaurants and all social distance and all different rules, but it's slowly coming back, which is so refreshing.
It is so nice to actually see other people. Really is. Like, I haven't seen other faces in my family for a while.
Outside of TV and your smartphone, there are other real people in this world in 3D, right?
His morning crew.
I've seen some photographers around the country that are doing something pretty cool. They're doing something called portraits, but they're on the front porch.
Taking the picture on the porch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're doing it for free, from what I understand.
Well, that's nice.
So what they're trying to do is, because they're not really getting much work this time of year because of everything that's going on, they are offering their services to anybody that wants them to come by their home and social distance, take pictures of their family on the porch, because they say, this is a very important time in history. And one of the ladies that is doing this around the country, her name is Patty Livengood. She and her husband go out, and this is what she had to say about it.
Since I'm a non-essential business, I have zero business going on. I wanted to use my talent, my skills, give back to my community.
See, so she's giving back in her own special way. And she says we need to keep these pictures for history. So our kids, especially, if you have babies or toddlers, they're not going to remember any of this. But they have them in masks, or mom and dad are wearing masks, or why were we on the front porch? I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And get a lot of porch pictures during 2020,
Yeah. I have not taken very many pictures during this time. Maybe we should.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have to get one of Liz and her family on the porch.
On the porch with our masks.
Back deck.
Yeah, sounds good.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Hershey Bar has turned into a superhero. I'm Rob. That is Liz. It's his morning crew on his radio.
I would have liked these anyway.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but Hershey's is sending these out to all the frontline workers, and they have superheroes on them. So you might get one with Wonder Woman, and I guess they have the emblem of the superhero on the chocolate itself, is what I understand. Which is pretty cool. I like that. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. It looks like it's all the DC characters.
It is the DC characters and their emblems.
Yes.
Like what's on their chest.
Right, the big bat or the big S or whatever.
Or
it may
the Wonder
be.
Woman.
Yeah, what would be Wonder Woman? Yeah, I guess it's the W, the yellow
Two
W.
W's.
Yeah,
Wonder
there you go.
Woman.
Okay, thanks.
We got to help her out.
But she's my favorite, so how
She's
did
your
I
favorite?
not know
You don't
that?
know which one is Wonder
Well,
Woman?
she doesn't wear it on her costume.
Yeah, she does.
Where?
It's
No,
right
she
there
does not.
on her costume.
No.
You
she
can't
has the
miss it.
eagle. She has the
You
star.
can't miss it.
No, and Aquaman, what's his emblem? Because he's DC, right?
Yeah, I don't see him on the chocolate bar
How is that even possible?
because he doesn't have an emblem.
But Aquaman is my favorite.
I
Don't
am
they know?
sorry.
They didn't make it for me.
No, they made it for the frontline workers.
Yes.
So they all get first dibs, and then sometime they're going to get into the store.
Yeah, and so then we can buy our own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can
Yep,
see if
then
there
you
isn't.
can eat to your heart's content.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If you ever go to the mailbox and you see a letter with all this decoration on it, you'll know it's from a young lady named Emerson. She is 11 years old. She lives in South Dakota, and she just writes letters. They're all encouraging, and she decorates every envelope.
That is so sweet because that's a lost art.
So here's what she wound up doing one day. She noticed that, man, my mail person is a rock star. So she wrote that mail person a letter. And here's what she said. You know me as the person that lives here and writes a lot of letters and decorates all the envelopes too. Well, I just wanted to say thank you for taking my letters and delivering them. You are very important in my life. I make people happy with my letters, and you do too.
And you know what? I don't think we thank them enough, our postal carriers.
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think I've ever went up there and say, hey, yo, thank you.
Right?
Thank you for my letters.
And
thank you for all my bills and junk mail. I've never done that in my life.
But we should. We should, because they're out there every day and they're working through this as well. They're on the front lines because the mail has to be delivered.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The packages need to come.
Yeah.
You got to pay the UPS man and the postal worker.
Right. I just put graduation announcements in the mail yesterday. I need them to get where they need to go.
Mm-hmm. So go out today and thank your postal person.
I will.